Yeah, you do that.
So this is one of the great speakers at Speaker's Corner. He's been here regularly now, and it's a great demonstration of humanity and how to articulate and debate with people here at Speaker's Corner. He doesn't come here just to antagonize people, never has done, but comes here, as I've just outlined, for a genuine debate and understanding of this world, and hopefully to demonstrate how to live in a world where we can all humanity can grow together.
Yeah.
So I think this is what you're now going to kind of a nice speech you've got prepared to
Yeah.
demonstrate. So I'll leave it to your speech, and you can give yourself a quick introduction to
Okay.
that and go for it.
Well, I'm Martin. As I said, I'm down here. Try and get down here like at least fortnightly or something like that. And I try and engage with lots of different people. Sometimes sort of shouting and raised voices, and sometimes it's just a conversation. So it always goes like that. But I'm watching some stuff and like kind of listening to what's going on in the world. I wanted to write something and say something, and whether I stand on a platform and say it or I say it to the camera, it doesn't either way, you know. But I just think it's kind of important with how the world seems to me, at least how I'm seeing the world. So here we go. All right. During the Second World War, over 6 million Jews and over 5 million prisoners of war were murdered. Let's never ever forget that fact. This act of industrial genocide didn't happen overnight. It was planned and it was calculated. The German people, not all, were slowly fed poisonous propaganda and lies, and again, not all believed it. Let's be fair. Um, so, how do you successfully turn neighbour on neighbour? To cause a once decorated Jewish soldier or businessman to be then labelled as they would use dirt or vermin, their language. The key to sowing hatred is division and careful manipulation of the truth to turn us against each other, to divide and conquer. Misinformation is key, where the truth and rational thinking are abandoned to be replaced by something cultivated by fear. The fear that we don't have enough money, we may lose our jobs, that things around us may change too quickly, or more alarmingly that we are chosen or that we are deemed special in some way. We look back at that moment in history and we think that we could have done things differently, or how could we have combated the hateful propaganda? We have a chance right now, in this park and any day, right now, to stop history repeating itself. During Trump's reign of terror in the United States, he used exactly the same tactics. It was fear and it was divide and conquer. Those that weren't white, straight Christian were encouraged by the right wing to be dehumanized. Finally, Trump's reign of terror ended in an ultimate act of violence, completely predictable and utterly avoidable. Once again, we ask ourselves what we could have done differently or how we could have avoided the propaganda and misinformation. I bring it all to today, right here, right now in the United Kingdom. Great Britain has its own history of dark days, of imperialist empire building and racist treatment of non white Christians. Right now, in this country, the government and the strongest and wealthiest parts of the media are pumping out the same message using the same tools of any right wing fascist group: divide and conquer, fear. Right wing papers and media in this country attack protesters. Left wing socialists, women, LGBTQ plus people, and those against the racist right wing agenda, like me. Divide and conquer and use fear. We saw it happen recently at the big royal charade, and it will continue to get worse day by day. It doesn't matter if things sorry, it doesn't mean that things will get as bad as Nazi Germany or Donald Trump's racist dreams, but we have the chance right now to turn the tide for the better. And I don't want to just say this. I want to leave some kind of positive um, idea to take away from this. Like, where would we go forward? Um, so, how do we combat something like this? Um, and we start with simple things. We recognize the humanity in each other. We strengthen the community and not give in to fears. We do not allow ourselves to be pushed and pulled by dogmatic religions and racist propaganda. We think for ourselves and embrace reason. We protest in our actions, in our art, and our music, and our poetry, and our writing. We get loud and we shout, we bang our drums, and when the laws get tighter, we get louder. We stand up for each other and we be excellent to each other. And in one word from John Lennon, imagine. That should be enough. There you go. Hopefully you got that.
Very good.
That's all I wanted
Thank
to say.
you. Very good.
There you go.
So, what brought you to write those words?
Um, Observing what's happening in the world, it kind of building up until this morning. I felt like I wanted to write it and say it. It's not enough to just sit there and listen to things happening around me and not do something. I wanted to say something, and I want to keep finding ways to keep saying things and doing things and protesting and be a voice for good, rather than sit silently and listen to the right wing and the racists control the volume. To be a volume against it, you know.
Yeah, I think those listening out there, I hope they would understand the compassion, the beauty, and peacefulness of your words, and I hope that you take on board such humanity and express, write down, express a similar view. Because if you don't speak, if we don't speak, therefore the world that Hitler made, I think, is guaranteed to happen. Why do you think the media, if this isn't too off subject,
Just can't go for it.
why do you think the media isn't repeating what you're saying and what I'm saying?
Maybe um, it's more in their benefit to keep um, using fear, like I say, to control us, to keep us, to keep selling us a product that we need to be fearful of immigrants, or we need to be fearful of that group that are different to us. They're going to take your jobs. They're going to take what you love or something away from you. It's a better product to keep selling that fear to people. If they made a message that was more unifying, it would that sell as many papers somehow, like fear sells. It scares people. You can push and pull and move people around using that. You can you can send people to die in wars for that. You can get people to sacrifice things that would be damaging to themselves and be completely unreasonable, but they'll do it. Brexit, for example, they'll do it. It's such a manipulative tool. Um, and it keeps people rich, it keeps people wealthy, it keeps the poor down here and the rich up there. And as long as we're kept down here, we can't. And our dreams are told that we can only dream at this level. Will always be kept down there, and we have to think bigger than that. And we have to realize that we have strength and we have power, and we can't. We shouldn't be pushed forward because they control some kind of big message, media message. I hope that answers your question.
I think also it's very important to highlight just how wonderful human beings are. Fundamentally, the majority of human beings I've ever met in my life have been incredibly wonderful, caring, considerate human beings. And yet the media never demonstrates that's reality. And the Abrahamic religions never demonstrate that is also the reality. They're condemning you for being a human being and having consensual human interactions. That is you're condemned for. And I think what you're doing is tremendous. I'm completely a fan of it. And the lesson I learned from you is always to end the interview with what can you give the viewers one positive message about life?
Yeah.
You told me this one.
I don't want to stand here and just sort of say this is my political point or whatever. This is that, and I want to leave a plan going forward. So so you would say, okay, well this is bad. How would you fix that? And I want to try and offer some kind of solution or new way of thinking, at least maybe that people can take away for themselves and think, actually, no, yeah, that maybe that is how we. That's a good way to kind of try and fix things. And it's always good to leave on a nice positive message, because at the end of the day, if you want to fill the world with more positive ideas and thoughts, then that's how you want to leave things. You want to leave it on a nice note, and hopefully people take something good away from that.
Yes, if we don't have positive thoughts, you're guaranteed a horrible world. So encourage these positive thoughts, not only within yourself, don't be ashamed of them, but in others as well. Because it's with positivity we can change the world. And I guarantee if we are consumed by negativity will end up in the world of genocide, war, and another Holocaust. That's where.
Sorry, I was just going to say the reason I said imagine at the end is because one of my heroes, someone that I really looked up to and everything, apart from just my uncle Terry O'Hanlon, look him up. He was fucking epic. Um, but also John Lennon and just in one song, Imagine. We can imagine a better world and we can achieve it. Don't let the people that want to fill us with hate and racism and divide um, crush those dreams of what we can achieve. We can achieve those things. We can turn it around. It doesn't have to be like this at all. We're human beings. We're capable of reshaping our brains and thinking and changing, and we can build something better. It can be done.
Absolutely. Humanity is beautiful, but our media and religions will never demonstrate that, which is why you have to be creative, create artwork, poetry, whatever your outlet is. Please indulge in that because it embeds into history the greatest of humanity rather than what they wish to see humanity be.
Let me give one example of something that is happening that is an example of what we should have going forward. There's a business, I want to give them a shout out because they're a small business. They don't have money, they're not a massive big chain. It's called the Sound Lounge in Sutton, and check it out. Go down there, support them, buy a drink, go and listen to the music. Um, at Christmas, they done a big thing where they invited people to come down and have a Christmas meal free of charge to build a community, to bring community together, to bring locals together. And we sat down, we talked to people that we'd never spoken to before, and they lived in the same area. We met our neighbours, and it was fantastic. And it's things like that you don't see much of that you should see more of because you're using music to bring people together, and that's an incredible powerful tool that you can use for the good of everyone. And what they're doing right down there is fantastic what they do, but they can only survive if people go down there and buy a drink and just hang out there. And you have an open mic if you're out there writing music and you want somewhere to go and get up and play, because I understand that it's nerve wracking. It's difficult to do it for the first time. Get down there, they're really friendly. They don't judge you on how good you are or if you're an amazing guitar player or an incredible songwriter. You can go down there. You can read poetry. I've done it. You can go down and get up, go and play, share your music with people because they're really friendly and they're really welcoming. And that's the beginning of something really good, really really good. So I want to support them and I want to give them a shout out if anyone hears me talk about it. So, yeah. Sorry.
Don't attack the mic. The mic will bite. So Sound Lounge and any org community organisation like that doesn't judge you for who you are, isn't trying to teach you, trying to pass on a message or anything. It just lets you be the person you are. And I believe that's the best the community can offer a human being. And on that note, you say the last word and then we'll then wrap up.
Be excellent to each other. Let's start there. Start with that.
Beautiful. Be excellent. It is beautiful. The dust is settled. Thank you very much. Boom.